What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Pull-Up Show. I'm your host, Mr. DJ Mathews, a.k.a. B Jizzle.
And it's your co-host, Rick Masters. Hope y'all doing okay out there and staying warm.
Yes, sir. Happy Valentine's to everybody out there. Hope you guys enjoy y'all day. If you guys are in relationships, marriages, enjoy y'all day on your special Happy Valentine's from the Pull-Up Show. Today we got 3 topics, but before we get into that, check out my last video with NBA player Chris Copeland. Me and my boy Rick interviewed him last night. Great interview. Check out that interview as well as the interview I have with Matt Gonzalez-Rosser, my close friend who's playing basketball in the Philippines. And check out all of our Sunday shows that we have coming to y'all. Subscribe to the Pull Up Basketball Podcast. Follow on us on Spotify, the Pull Up Basketball Podcast, as well as Instagram. But let's get into it, Rick. Derrick Rose was traded. My bad, not traded. Let go once again from one team and signed to another. He was let go by the Detroit Pistons and signed to the New York Knicks. Tell me, where is Derrick Rose currently in his career? Former MVP at age 22 years old. Seemed like the sky was the limit, but over the last, I would say 8 years, he's been bouncing from team to team. So where is Derrick Rose right now in his career?
To answer it shortly and very bluntly, he is in a support role right now, meaning that for the people out there listening to the podcast, meaning that I think teams kind of look at Derrick Rose right now as more of a backup, maybe even a third string point guard, maybe even a supportive shooting guard, depending on what the team may need. So in my opinion, I feel like he's more of a support role right now. But let me give a little background of Derrick Rose for the people who don't remember him, because he was a phenom back in the day, man. 3-time All-Star, 08-09 All-Rookie, 08-09 Rookie of the Year, 2010-2011 All-NBA, 2011 MVP. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, but this guy was really like magnificent in my high school years. I would say from the 2007, 2009 years, this man was just scorching, hot. Of course, everybody knows he suffered a terrible injury in his knees. This man was running like 100 miles per hour, and I think his body just honestly naturally gave out on him. But far as his role in the career that he's in, which is the NBA, I really feel that he's more supportive to the teams now instead of being their head guy or their supportive guy or their superstar. But what do you think, BJ?
Oh, D Rose, man. This guy was arguably the most athletic point guard of all time, next to Russell Westbrook. He was the youngest MVP at age 22. He was averaging 25 points per game, 7.7 assists per game. He led the Chicago Bulls to a deep run in the playoffs. Number 1 seed, I think, in the East in 2012. And there were talks that he could be the next one. He's the guy that's going to take over the league, blase. And then one ACL tear just ends all that talk pretty much for the most part. Where I see Derrick Rose right now in his career is a guy who's just happy to be hooping. With the amount of stuff that he's been through already, I think he just wants to be able to get out there, play, enjoy the game of basketball and getting his money, because after basketball, he's 32 years old. So I see him playing for another 3-4 more years, and then he's going to hang it up. So at this point, I think it's about him taking care of his family as well as getting out there, just enjoying the game. I don't see him looking at trying to win a championship. That ship has sailed. He's, like you said, a second, third string point guard. I think he's averaging, let me see, he's averaging right now 14 points and 4 assists, which are not bad numbers, but those are not superstar numbers that are looking like, oh, you want to take over a team. Those are just, you're a backup point guard at this point. You're not somebody that we looked at being an MVP. He went from Chicago to New York to Cleveland to Minnesota to Detroit. Now he's back in New York. So that's just a lot of bouncing around. So I don't see him looking at, oh, I need to, take over the franchise. But at this point, he's just looking to, play ball and, take care of his family. And that's okay. And I wish him nothing but the best because he was one of my favorite players growing up. I had the jersey, the shirts, real humble dude. I actually have family members who know him personally. They know he's actually a real smooth guy. So off the court, and you wish, nothing but the best. It's unfortunate he's been through 2, ACL injuries. I think the second one was a meniscus injury the year after he recovered. So he just had a lot of, trials and tribulations, but that's the game of basketball, right?
That's it, man.
So transitioning to the next topic, the NBA has had a lot of storylines. Russell Westbrook, another great athlete, another player that was supposed to take over the whole entire league. And at one point, he was the face of the league. Rick, Russell Westbrook, the last 3 years since the whole, or I'm saying not last 2 years since they got eliminated by Portland and Damian Lillard, it comes off as Westbrook is kind of, taking steps down in the rankings as far as top point guards. Where do you see Russell Westbrook? Has the NBA passed up on him at this point in time?
So I think for the people that's listening to the podcast and even you yourself, BJ, I think we have to realize one thing is that the NBA, the league itself, it loves storylines, right? And we both can agree on that. So we have to understand when Russell Westbrook was being talked about, what was it connected to? It was connected to KD and the Warriors, right? Mm-hmm. Before we even get into the triple-double, phenom, and we get into the, him falling out with KD, these guys were at the pinnacle of their game facing the Warriors. They had the Warriors down 3-1. Yeah. Of course, we all know history. KD leaves to go to the Warriors when people feel like he should have stayed to challenge him the next year, but he was a free agent, blase. Okay, so then remember, NBA is about storylines. So then we go down and people started feeling bad overall for Westbrook because they feel like, man, KD left them for the team that they should have beat. And so they had all this sympathy for Russell Westbrook, right? Mm-hmm. Players and fans alike. So then they followed him. And then I feel like when Russell Westbrook started getting these triple doubles, I think people changed that sympathy into encouragement to keep pushing him forward. Even his own teammates started having his back. There was plays that you can look up today, people, and go watch replays where literally Steve Adams had the rebound, but he'll let Westbrook get it. So it just goes to show that the NBA is about storylines. And I can even give a little bit more history. The NBA started in June 6, 1946. That's 75 years, people. And since then, we had the Bill Russell, we had the Wilt Chamberlain, we had the Magic Johnson, and we had the Larry Bird. We had the Michael Jordan faces everybody. Now we have LeBron facing everybody. So the NBA has always been about storylines. But I think where it all started with Westbrook in particular is when those guys got beat by the Warriors. KD left. Everybody feels sympathetic to Westbrook. Westbrook starts doing these triple doubles. Everybody encourages him. And then once he leaves the Thunder, now he has no storyline, because now if he would have stayed with the Thunder, they could have kept driving that or using that as a storyline. But at the end of the day, once he left, I think it kind of put a period on that storyline. You know what I mean, DJ?
Right. So the jersey fell.
Oh, you're fine.
What I'll say to that, bro, is there was a couple years ago, like I put a post up on my Facebook saying that I picked Damian Lillard over Russell Westbrook. This was before the whole Portland OKC series, the walk off with the wave. That was before all that, because I saw Damian Lillard as a real leader, a real point guard, a person that you can build a team around. I saw Westbrook as a fantastic athlete who just happens to play basketball. Okay. if you ask me who I'd rather have to lead my team, I'm taking Damian Lillard. And then you had so many people on my social media saying Westbrook was the better player and Westbrook was the guy who was head and shoulders over Lillard. Because years prior, you can say that. Like Westbrook, years prior was above Lillard, but I feel like Damian finally took that leap up where he's above Westbrook. And then Lord behold, what happened in the playoffs, the walk-off, Paul George and Westbrook, and the rest is history. But this is why I'm a fan more of skills than just pure athleticism. Am I saying athleticism doesn't matter? It certainly does help. It matters for sure. But your skills is what's going to keep you in the game. How you shoot, how you dribble the ball, how you able to get creative shots, not turn the ball over, being able to be a leader, the intangibles, all that matters when you talk about, especially as a point guard. And I look at Westbrook now, bro, he's averaging, I believe, 19 points, 8 assists, and 7.8 rebounds a game.
That's correct. Yep.
Right. So, which is not bad, but we all know Russell Westbrook puts up stats. I look at him as the Oscar Robertson of this generation. Triple-double king, we all understand what he's done with that triple-double stat. I think he done it 2 years straight. So averaged it. So that's incredible. But when it talks about his impact, it's not really something I would look at as, okay, that's a top 3 point guard. I put Steph Curry, Damian Lillard, Luka Doncic, and Kyrie Irving, when healthy, above Westbrook. And people can kind of flirt with the Kyrie Irving thing, but when you look at him being healthy, I'd rather have Kyrie Irving as my leading point guard. That's just me. But I think Westbrook at age, 31, 32, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but he's not the type of point guard that you're going to look to, get you dubs and get you wins. And from here on out, bro, I just think, the Wizards right now, I think they're 6-15.
They're 6-17. Yes.
6-17. That's terrible. That's bad. And, that's bad as hell. Like Westbrook's supposed to be a better, suit for that team. But, he's a guy that, you come to from OKC to Houston. Doesn't work out in Houston with James Harden. You go to Houston to Washington with Bradley Beal. It's not working out right now. So he's obviously, his best days are behind him. I think he used basically his athleticism to get him as far as he has gotten. And this is a lesson for people who are playing basketball in their 20s, young guys, like in their early 20s, like getting out of college. Don't just rely on your athleticism. If you're athletic, work on your skills, because when you get to your early 30s, mid 30s, that's what's going to keep you in the game. So that's why I feel like we're seeing from Westbrook. What else you got with that, bro?
I feel like with Westbrook, though, man, he really should have stayed in Oklahoma. Because like I said, the league had a story for him there. You know what I mean? Kind of like how LeBron has a story no matter where he goes. LeBron is the story. But Westbrook was only a story in OKC. And not only that, Westbrook also had the most support in OKC. I mean, you had the GM down to the coach to his teammates backing him. Because one thing, the common denominator that I realized with these other teams that he went to, the Wizards, Rockets, OKC, is that OKC, from every supply line coming from his teammates all the way up to the GM, were all pushing him forward. When you go to the Houston Rockets, them guys don't care about you being a triple-double king and you scoring all. They don't care. They want you to be a part of the team. They're not putting you up here like a prima donna on a pedestal. The same thing with the Wizards. They don't care. You come into the system and you sow yourself in with us and we win this as a team. So I think if he wanted to be sensationalized, not saying that he wanted to, but just in general, as far as the league eyes go, he definitely should have reconsidered staying in OKC. But that's all I have on that one.
Great analysis, bro. Hey, bro, let me ask you a question. You ever play video games with your homeboy, your cousin, PlayStation, Xbox growing up, and you beating their ass, and they want to sit up there and say that you're cheating, or they feel like you're cheating the game?
That has happened plenty of times.
Have you done that?
As far as me being the person saying that I'm telling them that they're cheating?
Be honest.
Yeah, I have. I think I've not as many times as them, but I've done it. I've probably done it 2 times back in the day, like when I was probably like in my teenage years.
How about this? When you used to go hooping with your homeboys or go hooping in the
Uh-huh.
summertime with regular people, like random people. You used to go to the rec or go to the local gym, and you playing pickup, and the gym is packed with hoopers. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to sit down and wait. So when you get on the game, you ain't trying to get out. You ain't trying to lose, nothing like that.
Nope.
So cats would, try to pull a little slick stuff and, call ticky-tack fouls and grab your arm.
Change the point system.
Right. And you ask them, somebody asks you what the score is, 7-4. What? We whooping your ass. I'm like, and I look, and I'll be looking at him. I'm like, bro, why? I'm like, why would you ask me to score and then say it, act like I'm lying about the score? Like now you just, what I'm saying? You trying to be petty with it. Like I don't have time. Like you asked me to score for a reason because you didn't know it. So now you want to argue with me. That's why I make it a point. People on my team, I say yell the score out. 5-3, 6-4, 8-2. Like I yell that out because I know how it is playing with niggas. Like they want to argue about every call. They want to argue about the score. They want to argue about what type of shoes you got on. Like
exactly.
It's always something, bro. And now the reason I ask those questions and bring up those scenarios because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, obviously, for those who live under a rock,
beat Mahomes and the Chiefs.
They whooped on the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Congratulations to the Buccaneers. Congratulations to Tom Brady, Antonio Brown getting his first Super Bowl. And now I read comments on my Facebook and my Instagram, and these are from people who actually play sports.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you guys think that the Super Bowl was rigged, man? You think the Super Bowl was rigged? How did the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes was throwing for X amount of yards all season. Now he can't get, the ball out of his hands. So, and I cringe when I hear stuff like that, bro. Yeah. I really do, because what it really means to me is you want to take credit away from the team that actually was prepared to win.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? If you play sports, bro, like you should understand, like sometimes it's just not going to be your night.
Exactly.
We've all gotten whooped. I've gotten beat bad. My teams I've been played on, we've gotten beat bad. We've beat other teams bad. I'm sure, bro, like you gotten, beat everybody that's played sports.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, everybody that's played sports, man, has gotten beat. And so the only thing I think of when I hear a person say, oh, sports is rigged or this game is rigged, is that you just being a sore loser because your team lost. You trying to be salty about it, which I can get it, but don't make it so obvious that you don't want to give the other team any credit. And then don't act as if we're not supposed to call it out, because it's obviously that you just hating or you mad because once again, your team did not come out on top.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's really weird that it's coming from players or people that actually play sports to understand it. It's one thing to hear from a person that does not play sports. The little conspiracy theorists and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's easy for them to say it, but for a person who actually plays basketball, football, baseball, boxing, any type of professional, these guys are out there trying to win.
Yes.
And why would you think that they're going to throw the biggest game of their lives away? You know what I'm saying? Like what offer is that big enough for you to throw the biggest game of your life that you probably won't even get back to for another chance? Like there's nothing big enough to throw something like that away. But bro, I'm going to go on a little bit more further, but I'm going to let you chime in. What do you think about, are sports rigged? Sports rigged.
Sports rigged in this modern era? Absolutely not. I mean, look, let's touch back on the Buccaneers and the Kansas City Chiefs real quick. Yeah. Now, guys, for everybody who watched that game, let's be real here. We saw Mahomes struggling.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and don't get me wrong, his struggle was that was the prettiest struggle I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Like he made struggle look good because he was actually looking pretty nice throwing the ball sideways, falling.
Yeah.
It was, but I've never seen a quarterback in the Super Bowl struggle as hard as he did. So let's get that out the way. That struggle showed you that he was really trying, by the way, that's the whole point that I'm getting at. Also, let's not forget that Brady and the Buccaneers, the defense was holding. They didn't even let them score. I mean, think about this, people. You cannot not try to score.
Right.
They tried to score.
Right.
And the Buccaneers was not having it. Okay, so you can't act that out. On top of that, I think people were facing the greatest quarterback in all time of history of the world, Tom Brady. So let's not, get in our feelings. That's just like getting beat by Michael Jordan in one-on-one. Don't feel so bad. You weren't gonna win no way.
Right.
You know what I mean? that was the greatest quarterback of all time in history.
Yeah.
Tom Brady should be in his historian book. I think he has more championships, more Super Bowls than other teams having Super Bowls. So when you get beat by a guy like that, it's really an honor, to be honest with you. That's like facing Bruce Lee in a kung fu match. You know you ain't gonna win, but hey, you fought Bruce Lee. So to say that it was rigged, like you said, BJ, I get it. I understand, I could be a sore loser sometimes too, but I don't exaggerate it. I don't have a bunch of hyperboles and say crazy things that are not true, but I might say little hateful stuff like, I'm better than you in my dreams. I might say stuff like that. But at the end of the day, man, no, man, it's not rigged. They got their butts beat, and it is what it is. It happens to us all, man. But what you think, man?
Bro, the Kansas City Chiefs offensive line couldn't block a parked car, bro. It was that bad.
They couldn't, man.
They couldn't.
They couldn't.
The DBs, they couldn't guard their receivers at all. Somebody said in the comments, they calling pass interference on all the Kansas City Chiefs players. I'm like, well, stop holding. That's stupid. Like it's a pass interference. That's like basketball. You keep slapping my arm, you expect the ref not to blow the whistle and call a foul.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Just like idiot stuff. And it's like, I'm so happy, bro. When it comes to sports, I'm not really a team fan. I'm more of a player fan.
Fan. I'm the same way.
Fan nowadays. I used to be a team fan, but now with the Lakers, it's so much player movement that you can't really be loyal to a team.
Yeah.
But when you get these people who are just fans of teams, bro, they lose their mind. They lose their noggin. Like, it's like, bro, that wasn't even logical what you said. And on top of that, you hating, and you want to give away all the credit to the team that actually, played their heart out.
Exactly.
Got a call coming, bro?
No, you keep going, man.
All right, but yeah, man, like if you a grown man keep saying stuff like that, bro, it's getting to a point where, I mean, come on, bro. Like we adults, we not kids. Like you not a teenager, you not an adolescent. I could see you throwing a little fit when you were young, but when you like in your 20s, 30s, and you understand that people play sports and doing the best that they can, like man, let's leave that at the house. Come back next year.
Exactly.
Come back next year and work hard, play your heart out, and just come back and beat them. There's always another day, like Friday. You know what I'm saying? You live to fight another day. You know what I'm saying? So
look,
go ahead, bro.
I'm about to say it's I just don't understand, because that was a pure butt whooping. That I mean literally a Super Bowl butt whooping.
Right.
And people are crying about cheating. I mean, look, man. The only way it would have been considered cheating is if the Kansas City Chiefs had their feet and their hands tied behind their back trying to play a Super Bowl game. That's the only way you consider it cheating. Everybody had the same ability, the same, roles to play their roles, and they just, Buccaneers were just better.
Bro, it was too much of a beating to be rigged.
Yeah.
I think people are starting to think the whole Tim Donaghy situation. Remember the ref for the NBA that got caught?
I remember that.
I'm not saying stuff like that doesn't go on, but the ref can only control so much of the game. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, these players are out there playing, working, trying to win. Like, so for anybody to sit there and be like, well, they had like a secret meeting and they want to, say, hey, we're going to make this team win and make this team lose, bro. Like, that's just, it's not logical, bro. It's not accurate. And there's no proof that that's actually going on. There's proof that certain people bet on games, but there's no proof that these players are just throwing around just throwing away, important Super Bowls and playoff games. There's no proof on that. So when people keep saying, I'm just like, bro, I just roll my eyes. I really do. Because it's like, that's where we're at now. Like, you're that much of a sore loser that you can't even get credit to the team that won. Like,
They
come
beat
on,
the
bro.
brakes off y'all, man.
Beat the brakes off them. Got anything else about that, bro?
Nah, man, just people. It's okay to get beat sometimes, man, especially if you're getting beat by the greatest. But that's how I ended, man. I thought it was just back to you.
All right, bro. We on episode 11. So we have done 10 episodes so far of the Pull-Up Show. We're going to begin doing all of our episodes also on Facebook Live every Sunday. All of our interviews with professional basketball players are going to be done every Saturday on the weekend. We hope that you have all you guys listening in. We're going to make sure we bring entertainment, but we're also bringing well thought out knowledge, and we're rolling with the subscribers. Once again, if you have not already, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube page, the Pull Up Basketball Podcast, our Spotify, where you can listen to our show on the road, in the car, when they're at home, chilling. You can listen to it, the Pull Up Basketball Podcast, on our Spotify, and our Instagram. Go to @_the pull up. Follow me on my Instagram @, @bjizzle. That's BJIZZLLE. Rick, go and give them your social media, bro.
Hey, people, y'all know who it is. It's your co-host, Rick Masters. Instagram is Rick Masters 23. Rick Masters 23, or you could look up Mr. Lee. Either way, you will see my face. Also, YouTube, same name. Facebook, same name. We are easy to find, people. I do want to say that YouTube channel, like, subscribe, share, pass it around, tell somebody who likes basketball, who loves basketball, and let them know that we do interview some former NBA players, other athletes that play the game, and that they will be entertained. So tell them to tune in for us, and we appreciate everybody who's with us and who subscribed to us. We love y'all and appreciate y'all. I'll assist it back to you, BJ.
Okay, once again, you guys, if you have not already, go ahead and check out me and my boys' last interview last night on February 13th with Mr. Chris Copeland, former NBA player for the Knicks, Bucks, and the Pacers, as well as check out my interview with my good childhood friend who's playing basketball overseas professionally, Matt Gonzalez-Rosser, and check out our weekly videos, episodes every Sunday. With that being said, we respectfully say, pull up a seat, pull up a chair, pull up. Peace.
Peace.
Yes, sir. And we out.